Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we're going to be making, like, I don't know, call it a half start on this project. I know many of you out there that come for the GBVR content are probably not going to like this build, but you know, you've got to diversify. You've got to do a little bit for everybody, haven't you? So, and I've wanted to sort of get this gun into a point where I can use it. So I'm going to talk about some of the bits and pieces I've got today. So this this barrel isn't the official, the version 3 micron barrel. This is a normal barrel that I originally machined down to fit this handguard. But the micron Silverback handguard has arrived. Well, I've had it for a little while now, but you can see obviously the difference is the micron is massive in comparison. You've got M-lock slots. Not sure what that tube's for, whether you could put some kind of accessory in there. It kind of reminds me of the old Chris Vectors that could have the laser in there. And instead of using the old style pins where they have the encapsulating little clip that goes on there, they've actually gone to like an AR style pin with a detent and a spring, which is nice. And you don't have any locking tabs on either side at the top here. So in the package, it comes with a little bit of foam stuck here. And in the package with the handguard, they do give you some extras. Maybe your handguard, the reason why I think they've done that is I think maybe if your handguard sits a little bit looser, you can add another pad. But this one is absolutely fine. So we can slide this on to the MDR here. Lines up all nice and well. We do have to just slightly pinch that together to get the pin in, but that means the handguard is nice and solid and it matches super cool. Ignore the barrel for now. The inner barrel, that is, that'll have to be machined down. So very nice handguard. God, the time and the effort and time spent trying to get someone in the US to send me a real one of these for years. It's got to be years now, hasn't it? And I finally got one. And they're actually not bad priced whatsoever. I also picked up the, they call it the fat can, was it? The fat can. This is what I call a fat can. You remember the Lilacs one? The fat silencer? No. This is a fat silencer. And the only reason I picked this up is just because I was curious in terms of the size. I don't think this is... I don't know... this is basically something that I don't think I'm going to be using on the MDR, but I thought it'd be nice to have it because, you know, having it on the side, I might come across a project where this actually does make sense. So, and I wanted to show it off to you guys. So, quite hollow sounding, of course. We've got foam in there. The only thing I'll say about this is the foam is not the best of quality, but at least it comes in there and you've got it instead of not having it. So we could fit this on. I'm not sure where the official Silverback barrel's threaded to. I imagine it's a little bit longer than this one. This one is quite short. So you'd have that situated on the end there. And it's a really chunky suppressor. However, I'm not going to be using that with the MDR. The only thing I want to say as well is when I took this out of the box originally when I first got it, still got remnants of it now, it was covered in Loctite, so thread lock, whatever you want to call it. It is set so that, but when they've put it on, Loctite has dribbled out here and it was just covered and it was sticky. So I cleaned that up with just a bit of isopropyl alcohol just to get rid of the stickiness. So, of course, you guys know me. I'm going to be going to the STFU. And so many people ask me about this suppressor and don't realise that it's on the Jaeger Precision website. So the reason why I'm going to this is it's slightly necked down at the back. And I'm thinking it's going to fit better with the MDR handguard because my barrel, I probably shortened it a little bit too much. But remember, originally I was making it to fit this handguard. So we can thread this on here. And this is just a mock at the moment because it's got nothing inside it. I literally just pulled one off the side to give it a go. And that fits perfectly well with the handguard. The barrel isn't secured, so that'd have to be secured in place. But I think that is a far better aesthetic. A little bit longer, a little bit thinner, and I'm probably a little bit biased, but I can't wait to run this on HPA with the STFU because it works phenomenally well with HPA. So that's how I'm going to be running the front. Now, you might ask how we're going to mount the engine. Now, I did show you the other bracket that I've done before. This one is the same thing, it's just done in FDM, which I think is a better process for this type of part, if I'm honest. And I don't think I've actually opened this yet. The F2. We can pull this out like so. What I probably want to do is locate the, or lock the barrel in. I don't know why, but this barrel doesn't want to locate for some reason. Not too sure. I did say in one of the previous videos that the spare MDR that I had was the one that I sold, and I was wrong on that. So the MDR that I sold was actually my original one. This is the spare that I bought. So I was a bit backwards with that. But just going to loosely tighten this up, just so it stays in place there. And we can pop the pins out. Now, it isn't as straightforward on these MDRs. I'm going to have to take the handguard off, aren't I? And think this one through. So you can HPA the MDRs really easy. As I mentioned in that kit that I was sent, it's basically to set this up as a semi-auto. And the way that you do that, if I pull this apart here, I'll show you. The way that you set this up for semi-auto is, it doesn't really matter which board you're using. I'll get to why in a moment. As soon as I can get this bloody thing off. This, I've got a tool for this somewhere. Pull the lower off. So you have your trigger board. When you press the trigger, it advances this little stopper here, which pushes the micro switch, and then that's what tells the gun when to fire. Now you'll see here I've stripped the wires on this. So normally there's a little white connector which plugs into your Silverback gearbox, and basically this is just testing which does which. So I think originally the semi-auto board was on there. Sort that out for the full auto board. But the way that the selector works is it works off a Hall sensor. So what that is, it's a little magnet in the selector. When you position it right, that affects the Hall sensor and tells the gun when to fire semi-auto, when to fire full auto. Now the problem with that is for the Hall sensor to work, because I don't necessarily want to mount like another switch to, which would be very easy. We could put like a little micro switch somewhere, and that could be used for the selector. I want to retain this, so that's what I want to use. Now with the Hall effect sensor, thanks to Thor in the Discord as always, the Hall effect sensor actually requires power, which means that this wiring here isn't as simple as probably what you might think. So you've actually got a power and a ground wire, and he went through with me and we talked about how to do it. And then through my Googling, I actually found a guy on Facebook that some time ago now designed a PCB board. So what I planned to do was use this little board from Polar Star, which is like a universal plug board. We can plug our own trigger and everything into that, and we can have that situated at the back of the engine. But what this clever clogs on Facebook did, he designed and made his own PCB boards. And I was talking to him through Facebook. I messaged him. I didn't expect him to respond, but he did really quickly. and we started talking about it, and he said he could, I was a bit, you know, confused because I found that the instructions online. I was a bit confused about how he did it, what components he bought, how he wired it all and sold it all up, and asked him for some pictures. And just in talking, I put it to him, I was like, could you design this PCB board where, you know, like this, design the PCB boards, I'll get them made, and then the idea is to have it as a plug and play. So what you do, you got your PCB board, which comes fresh out the packet from being made. You take your white connector off your trigger board and you plug that into the PCB board, and then you plug your engine in, and it's just plug and play. You don't have to do any soldering. You don't have to source any intricate components and like DIY it. You know, being a bit cheeky, thinking he was going to say, you know, sod off, I ain't got the time to do that. And he said he could. So he said, give me a few days. I'm going to try and put together a design and all the literature that needs to go with it to send off to a manufacturer to get it made. And if he can do that, I did discuss with him about sort of making it available for everybody else. So if he can do that, what we've kind of agreed on is he'll design it, give me everything I need to do. I'll then go and source a factory, hopefully someone here in the UK, and get them made so it's literally a plug and play thing. And then if anybody else wants to do this conversion, we'll manufacture some so you can order it on the website. And then what I'll do is, however many, let's say we sell 10, you know, there might not be many people that want to do this. Let's say we sell 10, the profits will be split between myself and obviously the designer. So I think that's the best way to do it. It's very, this is what we need to do. This is what we want to make available to people, and come up with a bit of an offer between the two of us, and we can make it available. Because even if it's not made available and sold, I'd still want to get one manufactured for myself. So, you know, hopefully we can get it manufactured, and you can buy and just plug and play it into your MDR if you decide to go HPA. We might even be able to do something along the lines of, is this stuck in? We might even be able to do something along the lines of talking to the guy that created this, which I think was a guy in the group called David Snedeker. I think he was in the US. So maybe we can talk to him as well, and through the cooperation of, you know, a few people, design, make, manufacture everything that you need to take this. I can't remember which way this goes. I'll have to remind myself. Was it that way? Was it that way? I forget. Ah, there we go. I think it's like that. So yeah, maybe we can do a deal, you know, with the other guy that made this conversion, which might need some tweaks to get it to line up a little bit better, because this isn't quite going together. And just have it as an off-the-shelf thing. You supply your own engine, maybe, you know, do it as a DIY kit. Now that does not fit together, does it? Maybe they change these F2 engines, I'm not sure. Another conversation I'll have to have with him. And maybe even go down the route of, you know, getting a HPA retailer on board, buy the engines in, build the engines up with the electronics, and selling them as a ready-to-go item conversion kit for the MDR. Yeah, that ain't quite right, is it? I'm not really sure what's going on there, whether there's a difference. This is designed for the F2. Maybe it was an older F2. Because that doesn't go in either, does it? It doesn't quite line up. So I'll talk to him about that. I was hoping to get this installed in this video, but looks like that's not going to be the case. That would have been nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think something's just slightly off. It looks like this piece here and this piece here. So maybe someone can confirm in the comments below that Polar Star made a revision to the F2 engine. Kind of goes in, but it kind of doesn't. So we'll have to have a look at that. And then, yeah, so I'm going off on a tangent here. Sorry, guys. And we can make it available, so if you want to do it, fair enough. If not, then at least I can get this made and set up to run in the MDR. So I'm not sure if this is going to be a simple thing of setting it up. Whether I'm going to have to do any adjustments here or there. I think that lines up pretty nice from where I just tried it. So F2 bracket needs a bit of attention. If you fitted one of these using this bracket, let me know if there's a difference in the HPA engines. If you're savvy with Polestar and you know they've made some changes, let me know also down in the comments below. If you're interested in such a plug and play conversion kit, I'm sure there are other people out there working on conversion kits. Maybe we just do it as a board and it makes it simple if you're trying to do the same thing as me. And yeah, so I know there's plenty of MDR users out there. I know there's plenty of people that love HPA. Maybe not a fan of that Silverback gearbox, but I'm going to have to find the rest of the components for this to get it back together. We've got the MDR, we've got the front end, which does fit nicely. I'd rather it be tight than loose. That's becoming like a famous saying, isn't it? We've got a nice suppressor to go on the end, chunky, so we can be really nice and quiet if we want to. Got a nice engine. I've still got a ton of MDR mags, and I'll be running it on the heavy mags, not the light ones. Maybe I'll convert it to the 5.56 style mags in future, but I just think that looks really cool with the chunky mags. And yeah, so I'll give you a little update. I would have liked to have got that pushed in and screwed in. I got the nuts and bolts that I need, but I'm gonna have to talk to him about that because it doesn't quite fit. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you like this project. If you do, pop it down in the comments below. If you don't, pop it down in the comments below. Like, dislike, it's all good fun. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out the links in the description below if you'd be so kind. And as always, from me and Team Chaotic Bench, we'll see you in the next video.